Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bernice, and I'm back here with another video. I have been looking forward to doing this video this entire week, and I kind of woke up very early to do it. That's why my voice sounds a bit different, because well, I sound tired. I just woke up, like literally I woke up, put on lip balm, and here I am doing this video. But anyway, so I'm just going to be talking about the difference between being in Germany and being in Austria in terms of studying, what you would expect the differences to be. So I am talking as someone who studied in Austria for a while, and I'm currently studying in Germany. So I am talking from a place of experience. I know what I went through while I was searching for which university to go to. I know what I went through when I was searching for, like, what to do, how to move to Germany, how to move to Austria, like, both places. So I have an idea of, like, what to expect, what you should expect in terms of accommodation, in terms of fees, in terms of like the legal process and all of that. I went through it, so I know what to tell you guys for it. So the first thing I'd like to about, which is like I think very important, that everyone moving to any of these two countries should already know, is accommodation. Like, moving to Austria or Germany, you need to apply for a place to stay, a place in the student's home more than a year in advance. You need to apply early. Because first of all, when I was studying in Salzburg, or before I started studying in Salzburg, I applied very late on accommodation. I was looking for a place to stay. I had a very, very hard time. It took me like almost, I think, like 7-8 months. So from the first few months, I had to commute from home to Salzburg. It was stressful. It was like so much work. So the second you decide, okay, I want to study in this school, I want to go to this place, the next thing you should do is to already apply for a place to stay. Because the thing is, you can apply for a place way in advance, like a year in advance, a semester in advance. It is possible to apply for a place like that. You stay on the waiting list. There's just a few places in Germany where you, like, they guarantee you a place, so you don't really have to, like, apply a year in advance. You just apply, like, I think a few months before the semester you want to be in. So they will tell you, like, they guarantee that place, you will get it at least for the first semester or the first year. So it's like, if you're a first year student, it's like very simple to get it. Those schools will let you know. But the other schools apply, like, some will tell you it's fine to apply 2 years in advance. It's fine to apply 1 year in advance. Take that in, like, take that into consideration and apply. And in terms of accommodation, when it comes to the differences, so what I just said before, the similarities, when it comes to the difference when it comes to applying for accommodation, what I'd like you to know is that in Austria, when you're budgeting for your accommodation, as a student, you need to budget somewhere like from 300 to like 600 for a student accommodation, depending on the comfort you want and everything like that, from 300 to like 600, because for whatever reason, it does get a bit expensive as a student to apply for a place. Like, I still don't understand why. But in Germany, when you're applying for accommodation, you can budget somewhere from like 250 all the way to like 500, 550, like, So accommodation is much cheaper in Germany than it is in Austria. If you guys watched my previous video, I was paying 400 and something, 440 for my previous accommodation in Germany. But that was because I was staying in a private dorm. So the private dorms are a bit more expensive because I didn't apply early. I didn't apply as early as other students. So I was on a waiting list in Germany, and well, I had to move into the private hostel for the time being. And that is very expensive. Like, the private ones are very expensive, just know that. So when I'm saying this rough price, I'm only giving the rough price of the government application, the government apartments, the government Wohnungs or waiting list, not the private ones. So for Germany, I was on a waiting list for like, I think for like 6, 7, 8 months, and I still hadn't gotten the place, and I had just, I think, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to move to Germany, and I still didn't have a place. That was how I ended up in, like, a private apartment for the time being, because like I had no choice. So that was expensive. So I'm guessing if I had applied way earlier, I'd have had a higher chance, which is why my first point to you guys was to apply for the apartment early. So my price of 440 that I was paying before is not the usual. It's not the average for students studying in Germany. So no. So for the government apartments, as I said, you can budget between somewhere from 250 to like 500, depending on how big you want it. And most of the time, I've realized that the 500 euro apartment is mostly for like, the students with kids or families who want to move in together, because they do provide that as well. For that kind of apartment in Austria as a student, you need to budget like 600, 700. So it's a bit more expensive. Moving on from the accommodation, I would like to also now talk about the process, or like, that kind of miscellaneous bills you'd have to pay. So what I mean by that, I'm going to talk about the fees. I'm also going to talk about like the extra fees I've had to pay. And without even going into like, without even confusing, because I'm just letting you know, in Germany, I'm paying all this, like, I'm paying this bill that I don't understand. Like, anyway, so let me first talk about the fees. So in Austria, let's start with Austria. So in Austria, the fees for international students is 700 and something each semester. Like, regardless of what region you're in, so long as you're in the university, you pay 700 and something each semester. And that does not include your transportation or anything. It is just your fees, the student's body, administration, blah, blah. All of that falls under that 700 and something amount you pay. Before, if you want, you can buy the Klima ticket, or you can buy like your bus ticket. So that costs extra. That is a cost on you that the university does not take. But in Germany, you pay 340 something, 20 something, but no 300. So you pay 300 and something each semester, and that includes the student body fee, and also includes your student's train ticket, your student bus ticket. So the tickets you get in Germany as a student, you can use to take the bus, take the train, like, you know, the local trains around, and that just, like, you know, that comes together. So whether you're an international student, you are a national, it does not matter. Everyone pays the 300 and something amount. I don't know, for some reason I'm not remembering the exact numbers, but it's 340 something, 50 something, around that side. But like, yes, every student, whether you're international, you're like, you know, a day student, a national student, that is the amount you pay. So as you can see, there's a difference already, because in Austria, the international students pay 700 and something, while the nationals could pay like 17 euros, like in my case, or they could pay like 200, but just know it is way, way less than what internationals would pay. So in Austria, the internationals and nationals pay different fees. But in Germany, the internationals and nationals all pay the same amount of fee, because you're paying for the same things, you're paying for the same transportation card and everything like that. But one thing is that in Germany, the amount you pay depends on the region you're in. So if you're in Lower Saxony, if you're in Stuttgart, you know, whichever part, Baden-Württemberg, whichever part of Germany you're in, it's a different amount you pay. So the people in Baden-Württemberg, if you're an international student, you pay 1,500, while the normal students pay the 300 and something. So there's a difference between the international students and, like, you know, the nationals. And Baden-Württemberg is like, you know, Stuttgart, and like those who are going to those kind of universities at that side. So know which region of the university you're choosing, know where that university is. That would make a difference to the school fees or the amount of fees you have to pay. And also, as I said, or as I was told, for the international students, or for all the students in Stuttgart, the card you get, even after paying that 1,500, does not include transportation card. So you need to know that. So in the states like Baden-Württemberg, after you're done paying the 1,500, you still need to bring out extra money to buy your transportation, like, you know, your transportation card and all like that. It is not included in the school fees. But in my state, in Lower Saxony, when you pay the school fees of 300 and something, you do get the bus card as well, and the local train card. You get that as well. And also something else I'd like to talk about. In Germany, before you even get your visa, before you're even allowed to come, if you're an international student, you have to show proof of funds before you get the visa. So this is the difference. The before is the difference, because in Austria, you do have to show proof of funds as well. But then the proof of funds, you could show it after you get to Austria. So after you get your visa, you could show that, and then you have to show that every single year. In Germany as well, but in Germany, before you come, you show it, and every year after, when you're renewing your visa, you need to show it again. So you need to know that the amount is also different in both countries, and it costs a bit more in Germany, because Germany brings in, I think, the amount they think you're supposed to spend, which rounds up to, I think, 970 roughly per month. So they multiply that by 12, and that is what you're supposed to have in your account. So it's something a bit over like 11,000 euros thereabouts. That's what you're supposed to have in your account. If you don't have that amount of money, you're also allowed to, like, you know, if you know someone in Germany, that person fills out of form to show that they will take care of you financially, or they're like responsible for your finances. Of course, they don't have to give you money, but all they have to do is like to go to like, you know, the needed authorities, show their bank accounts, they go through it and everything, and then they would sign off, and then they'll give you a paper, or they'll give the person a paper for which you can then go show to like, you know, the visa authorities for them to know that, okay, there is someone capable who has the money to take care of you. Austria just need to, I think the proof of funds is not a lot in Austria actually, it's not that much. I don't remember the exact amount, but I know it is not that much in Austria. And you could also show that after you've gotten to Austria, so we're doing your whole process and things like that, they will not really ask you about like, you know, you will have to prove that you have money, but then they don't ask you to like keep it in a blocked account like in Germany, because in Germany the amount you show to them is blocked. That money cannot be taken out at once. So the money you have in your account, you can only take it out monthly. You can take out a specific amount monthly, and that is it. You can't take everything else. So if you go borrow with the intention that you return that money and you plan on going to Germany, that is not possible, because that money can only come out drop. But in Austria, after they check your account once, because it is not blocked, you can just take everything back out again, which is what I know most students do, because like it's hard to come by that money and they need it for different reasons. So the minute they put that money back in, they take it back out, like, you know. So that is a difference. And also some random things that end up happening in Germany. In Germany, because you have to pay less for like accommodation and things like that, they charge something known as the TV and radio fee. And I'm not gonna lie, to this day, that vexes me. It pisses me off. Like, I'm not happy about that, because I don't own a television. I don't listen to the radio. I haven't listened to that in years. I haven't watched the television in like so long. So I'm just surprised that like, why do I have to pay? But every single person has to pay, so long as you live in a room alone. You live like, so my room is like, I have a kitchen, a bath, I have to pay the radio fee. So one person in each household has to pay. So if you get a WG, a Wohngemeinschaft, like you live with other people, you all have your rooms, just one person has to pay. But obviously it means you all have to like, you know, bring up money and give to the person or like something. But just one person pays on behalf of everyone. And the cost is like 19 years something, so roughly 20 years. But that's what you have to pay monthly. So I have to pay 20 euros monthly because I live in a single room. I have my own kitchen, I have my own bath. But if I was to share the room with someone else, then we share the cost of that radio and TV fee as well. But I live alone, so I pay alone. So like, you know, so the comfort of having your own room at a cheaper price in Germany comes at you also now paying the radio fee. So for me, I have added the price of the radio fee to my room fee as well. So that's what I tell my parents, like, that this is the general cost of it. Like, I added to it. And another thing I'd like to add is that I know you guys know I just recently started working in Germany. I'm not gonna lie, like, applying for a job in Germany was hard. Getting the job was hard. The whole process, but I'm guessing it's because I had cards from Austria, and the place I applied to for work, or the place where I currently work now, at the beginning, they didn't know what those cards meant. They didn't know what the card was about. They had, like, in front of me, they were legit, like, Googling to see what this card meant, what this card was for. So I'm guessing, in a way, it lies on me, like, you know, on how, like, you know, stressful it was to get a job. But it's, I don't even know how to explain it. It just made no sense. In Austria, it was very, very easy for me to apply for a job, but that could also be because I stayed in Austria for a long time. So I kind of know my way around, and I've already been working in Austria since I was like 18. So I know my way around the job industry in Austria. But in Germany, it was a whole different thing to tackle. And another thing was, it was kind of hard to, like, you know, to know what job to apply for, kind of had to know what job would take you, because first of all, I was coming as a working student. And another problem I had was that the city I'm in is known for having students. So more than half of the population is just students, which should already tell you, because that means everyone else is looking for a working student's job. Everyone else wants a mini job. So, and there are not a lot of jobs in that city. My city is not so big, and more than half of the population are students. So like, when you think about the ratio, it makes no sense. So it means it was like a bit harder for me to get a job. But I guess maybe I didn't put in as much effort as everyone else, because I know people who got jobs much easier. But like, yes, in Austria, I know international students who came to study and got jobs really, really easily. So think about that as well. Think about the city you're going to. Think about the advantage, disadvantage you have as a student who wants to get a job, because it was definitely not easy for me in Germany. That's why, like, I was jobless for like 8 months after I moved to, like, you know, I was jobless for 8 months and only recently started working in Germany. But anyway, I don't want to go into too much because I think I've done way too many videos when it comes to like talking about Germany, talking about Austria. So if you watch all those videos and you come watch this, I'm sure it will make sense. So I'm just going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps some people in deciding which country they want to study in. But like, yes, till next time, it's your girl Bernice. Don't forget to click on the subscription button, like and comment. Till next time, bye.